Today in our old stamps, we're going to visit USA old stamps. Now this first group is mostly Internal Revenue stamps. If you notice that number 2 is the property of the U.S. Internal Revenue, and it's a number 2. And this is from 1919. Then we go off to the second row, and this first 2 had to go through a double printing. And this one is 1874. And it went through the double printing, as you can see, the black and white portrait. So sometimes if you're lucky enough to find the portrait upside down from the writing, get it graded and get it to an auction because you're going to be rolling in the dough. Okay, so then our second one says Treasury of the U.S. And that's a nice 2 cents. And that is in 1873. So that's a nice old one, huh? 1873. That's cool. Okay, and our last one, which is all blue, 2 cents, happens to be 1875. So these are some pretty cool stamps to have. Alright, let's take you to the second group we have here. And these are all our number ones. Now if you notice, the 2 ones are together. And if you get stamps that are together, you happen to find a collection they're together, keep them together. They're more valuable together. And a lot of people like to separate them so they can make, a group here and a group there. But it's always best to keep them together. Because a lot of collectors would prefer 2 of something or 4 of something, or 6 or 8, like that. Sometimes a whole sheet. And it brings more value when it comes that way. Okay, so we have our ones. And if you notice, it has the U and the S in the upper corners. And in the lower corners has the I and the R for Internal Revenue. So that's pretty cool. These are still some good old ones. I believe probably from the early 1900s. Possibly 1927, I'm not sure, but it's the early 1900s. Okay, now these next 2 are not old, because this was a series that was started back in 2011. So they started doing some of these stamps. Okay, so this is New Orleans, 1862. The Forever stamps. That's kind of when they started the Forever stamps and everything. This is back in April. And then our next one here is also one of those Forever stamps from the Gettysburg of 1863. So you got some really super old ones, and you got some of the newer ones. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more of whatever we find. Alrighty? Bye-bye now. Be sure to share.